Well, Blake Lively was named one of Time's 100 most influential people of 2025, and she's now reacting, saying that it's a profound decision and that she's honored to help make the world a safer place for everyone. Ugh, what would we do without Blake? Plus, we have Katy Perry and Gayle King that are responding to the backlash about their little space mission, and we're going to get into all of it today. So get ready, Freddie. Let's get it. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's up, guys? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. Oof. I have to tell you, I'm a little tired today. And it's not even like hungover tired. I'm just a little fatigued. So fun. Wait. Ashley says, "Oh my God, can we stop talking about the fake glam squad non-astronauts?" We'll get into the the glam squad astronauts in a sec. But I went to an event yesterday with TikTok creators. Like I have to say, of all of the different, and I know this is like humble brag and like it's so not relatable, but like it was just so cool. That TikTok did this whole like creators event where they flew out a bunch of different creators. Okay, if you watch Giorgio Says, I was hanging out with Giorgio yesterday. A lot of different people that you've seen on this podcast, you've seen on the Pop Report, a lot of them were there. It was a great time. Right. They did like workshops for us and we got to like hang out and meet each other. We got to like speed date with other creators so that we could like get to know each other. I will say TikTok knows how to do an event. Never ban TikTok. Okay. Never ban TikTok. They said that it was a full day event. And like, I was like, a full day event. That's like probably like what, 4 or 5 hours. No, when they say it was a full day event, I mean, it was a full day event. Car picked me up at 8:45. I was at Universal. They rented out a sound stage, and that's where they hosted all of this, and we got to do workshops and pop-ups and speed dating with each other. It was really fun. And there was this one guy that I thought was kind of well, there were a few guys that were kind of cute. Um, yeah, I'm not very good at flirting, though. I'll just tell you that right now. I was even thinking in my head, I'm like, I need some new stories for season 3 of Disaster Daters. And I was like, I feel like I need to like stop trying to date on dating apps and like maybe just put myself out there more at these events. Like that may be kind of more fun. Um, but yeah, I was hanging out with mostly with Giorgio Says the entire day. I was like, I don't like meeting new people. I'm gonna try to like get out of my introverted self, but like I have a friend here and my friend's gonna be my friend and I'm gonna stay with my friend for most of the day. But no, it was a good time. Like we got to go on like I don't know if anyone's ever been to Universal, but they have like the tram tours where they take you into the back lots and they give you like little fun facts and back history of certain movies. We got to like actually get off. We had the VIP. Sorry, I'm like trying to not brag, but like it was just so cool. Like it was so fun. It was so fun. But so we did the first half of the day with like TikTok and like TikTok stuff. And then we had like a VIP tour of Universal. We got to like get off and look at the sets and we got to go into the props department. Like it was so cool. We got to ride rides. Like it was so fun. I went on roller coasters. I don't do roller coasters, but I went on all of them. I did the Harry Potter roller coaster. I did the Mummy roller coaster, which goes like back and forth. It was a thrill. I did the Jurassic Park one. It was great. It was great. I feel like Blake Lively and her gratitude towards Time Magazine was like my gratitude towards TikTok because it was like such an incredibly fun day. I took so much content. I'll be sure to share it with you guys, but it was so fun. So fun. Elizabeth says, just put yourself out there. No dating app, Zach. No good can come. Okay, well, wait, I have to tell you a story then. We'll get into the tea in a sec. But now that you're on that, let me tell you the story. Annabelle says, I don't like roller coasters that go backwards. I don't really like roller coasters in general, but I was just like, I'm going to channel Erica Jane and I'm going to say yes to everything. And I'm just going to I'm just going to do it. I'm going to commit to the plot and I'm going to do it. And I wrote them on. They weren't that scary. They were great. I had a good time. But so there was this one guy and he looked like Benson Boone. Okay. Let me see if you guys know Benson Boone, right? He was the guy that was in like the jumpsuit. Um, Everyone's like talking about him right now because I guess he like posed here. I'll pull up a photo. You know, he's the one he sings, "Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got." It was great, right? And so anyway, So there was a guy there, and he looked like Benson Boone. And I remember telling like the little crew that I was hanging out with, I was like, "Doesn't he look like Benson Boone?" And they're like, well, some of them were like, "Yes, oh my god, yes, he does." And then some of the other ones were like, "No." Like, yeah, like we can see it, but like, no, Benson Boone's like way hotter. I'm like, obviously Benson Boone's way hotter. He's like Benson Boone, right? Whatever. Fast forward. And they were like, "You should tell him he looks like Benson Boone." I was like, "Really? You think so? I should?" And they were like, "Yeah, do it." And so I was like, "Okay." And so I was like trying to like be nice. And I was like trying to like put myself out there and just be friendly, right? I wasn't trying to bone him. I was just trying to like be nice and like make friends. And so I was like, "Has anyone ever told you you look?" We were in the props department, and I was like, "Has anyone ever told you that you look like Benson Boone?" And he was like, "I've heard that before, yeah." He's like, "I don't really take it as a compliment." I was like, "Okay, well, that didn't work as well as I did." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then he said something about like Benson Boone, and he was like appropriating like queer community, queer culture or something. And then he like leans into it and doesn't. And then he was like really upset that Benson Boone went and did this pose with the American flag. Because I don't know, I guess American flags are now like not gay friendly. I don't know. I'm like, it's like that's our country flag. I didn't think it was that controversial, but like, okay. I was like, okay, fun chat, great. And then as the day went on, I feel like he warmed up to me a little bit. I was making a lot of different friends. I was like being nice. I was like being social. Not that I'm not nice, but I'm normally just like a lot more introverted. But as the day went on, like I felt like I was like becoming more like better friends with other creators, and even Benson Boone, like, he was warming up to me and, like, we were getting kind of friendly. I was like, "Oh." I was like, "You know what? He's kinda cute. Like, you know what? Maybe I will shoot my shot or something or not." I was like, "I don't know." I was just kinda, like, having fun with it and just, like, living life, right? And then by the end of it, I think I pushed the Benson Boone joke a little too far because he was at the end of the night when we wrapped up dinner and they were walking us all back to our cars, and then he was, like, walking ahead, and we were following him, and we assumed like he knew where he was going, and then he was like, "Oh, I don't actually know where I'm going." I was like, "You don't know where you're going?" I was like, "Everybody, we've been listening to Benson Boone, and he doesn't even know where he's going." And then, like, I guess the look on his face, like he did not like that I made that final Benson Boone joke. But I was just like, if I'm gonna go all in, like, I need to commit to it, right? Like, just ride the joke all the way home. And I thought at this point, like, we'd become friendly, so it would be a funny joke. He didn't like that joke. He didn't like it the first time I told it when I was trying to compliment him, and then he really didn't like it when I closed the night with that little joke. And then everybody else is like, "Zach, like, I thought you had a chance, and you like completely ruined it, and now he's never gonna speak to you again." And I was like, "Great, fun. Okay, bye." So yeah, that was a fun time. But I met the non-real Benson Boone, and I met a lot of other like really fun people. I was a delight, I just have to say. It was funny. It was great. It was a good time. Um, Lori says, "If Blake doesn't love herself, who would?" Um, Ryan Reynolds would love her, you know? But so anyway, it was quite the adventure at Universal. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. Let's talk about Blake Lively because everyone was like up in arms. Okay, everyone's up in arms and fired up about Blake Lively being on Time's top 100 list and then about Katy Perry going to the moon. And I have thoughts and feelings and like maybe some rants about one or both of them because Blake Lively has now responded. And so we're going to get into that. But first, a quick message from this week's sponsors. Let's talk about weight loss. We all know somebody taking the Zempic or something similar to shed the pounds, right? Well, now it's a staggering 13 million Americans who are taking a drug for a disease they don't even have. Talk about scary. There are now class action lawsuits linked to side effects for non diabetics like gastrointestinal issues, pancreatitis, kidney problems, and even some cancers. I know we all think we're invincible, right? But do you really think it's worth risking your health? Do you struggle with cravings, have a slow metabolism, maybe some stubborn fat? You're not alone. The experts at the Wellness Company's medical board have developed a new, safer option to help curb appetite by working with your body's GLP-1 hormones without a prescription or painful shots. Introducing Drop, a breakthrough GLP-1 peptide that targets hormones to assist in improving metabolism and blood sugar balance, plus hunger reduction. Just a few flawless drops in your water each morning for some serious weight loss on your terms. Summer's around the corner, and if you've been looking for an alternative that doesn't involve shots, it's time to drop it like it's hot, minus the needles. Head to twc.health factormeals.com/nofilter and use code NOFILTER to save $75 off your first month supply. That's twc.health/nofilter and use code NOFILTER to save $75 off your first month. Go right now. Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh, ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle like mine. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. I'm currently on the Protein Plus. We're trying to bulk up, right? Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals pack in flavor without any of the fuss. I know with me, if I've had a long day of taping, if I've been at an event, or I've been running around all day with the dogs, it's so nice to not have to come home and then make a mess in the kitchen by cooking and then having to clean. Factor's super easy. You pop it right in the microwave. It's ready in 2 minutes, and I get to enjoy a delicious meal that I know also hits my macros. Am I right? Get started at factormeals.com/nofilter50 off and use code NOFILTER50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code NOFILTER50 OFF. NOFILTER50 off. NOFILTER50 off at factormeals.com/nofilter50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Okay, funny. Okay, so Ann White in the live chat says, I have a theory as to why Lisa Vanderpump snubbed you the other day. She isn't aware that you and Adam have squashed the beef. Okay, so a few people have been DMing me with this theory, and they think that the reason Lisa Vanderpump does not like me has something to do with Up and Adam. I don't think that's the case. To be honest, I don't think she really likes him all that much either. I know he used to work for her at Tom Tom, was it? One of the restaurants, Sir Tom Tom Pump, one of the restaurants. I know he used to work for her then. But I think since then, I don't think she likes him either. I'll just say that. Like, I haven't talked to Adam in a minute, but like, I don't think her feelings towards me have anything to do with Adam, to be honest. And again, I don't think she likes him either. Um, but yeah, I don't know what her problem is or why she had to stick up her butt that day. Like, I was very nice and I still promoted her show, and I will still tell everybody, please support Stassi Schroeder and Hulu. Get Hulu, watch Vanderpump Villa. I hear it's good. I hear Stassi comes in with a bang in the first episode. I'll probably watch it tonight to like recover, and I'll let you know how good it is. But yeah, I don't think Lisa even cares about my beef with Adam or whatever. I don't know why she was awful to me. I truly don't. Don't think I've ever said anything truly awful about her. Have I talked about news related to her restaurants or her shows before? Sure. Have I talked about, did I say I think the Vanderpump Rules reboot is probably going to flop? I think so. It's an old model, like you can't recreate it. Like that's why Vanderpump Villa is such a unique show, because it's similar but it's different, right? It's more of a vacation destination. I think the production value that Hulu has now is way more elevated than, filming it, sir. So yeah, I stand by anything I've said, and I don't think I was ever whatever. What? Like literally whatever. If she wants to be rude for no real reason and be completely unprofessional, I can't control that. Again, I have nothing but kind things to say about Hulu, the Hulu team, Stassi Schroeder. I'm looking forward to watching Vanderpump Villa. I can separate, personal feelings from enjoying a good show that we're probably all going to watch and enjoy. I can separate the two. But whatever. Don't be rude to me. Stub me 3 times and then think that I'm not going to talk about it on my podcast, which is called No Filter. Anyway, off of Lisa Vanderpump, let's talk about what is it? Shit, what's the name of the space mission? The Katy Perry space mission? Blue Lagoon. What is it? Blue Origin. Sorry. I was like, I had it and then my brain blanked. Anyway, Blue Origin. Katy Perry and Gayle King under fire for going to space, which I kind of get. What did we send, like 6 ladies to space, and we're like rah rah girl power, and nothing there. Not that there's anything wrong with rah rah girl power. I'm not against rah rah girl power at all. Okay, but I don't like the way that this was marketed to us, right? Especially because now Gayle King and Katy Perry are like trying to excuse it, and Katy Perry's like, we did something novel and we did something profound, and it's for all the girls of the world who run the world, girls who leave the world, girls who go to space, girls. So again, not that I'm against any women empowerment sort of messages, but I don't understand how sending these women to space on an 11-minute space mission, how that is in any way girl power, right? Especially because I watched this interview with Gail King that was posted to, I believe it was E News. You just need to watch this because it's quite the adventure. And I commented on it, and I guess my comment's going viral, and I don't know, people keep sharing it, and I was like, oops. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Here, I'm gonna pull it up for you so you can see it. It's quite quite the time. Okay.
Because I've certainly read some of the things online coming from people that I know, that I like, that I consider friends. Space is not an either or. It's a both and. And because you do something in space doesn't mean you're taking anything away from Earth. And what you're doing in space is trying to make things better here on Earth. What Blue Origin wants to do is take the waste here and figure out a way to put it in space to make our planet cleaner. I mean, Jeff Bezos has so many ideas, and the people that are working there are really devoted and dedicated to making our planet a better place. That's number one. Number two, there was nothing frivolous about what we did. So, I'm very disappointed and very saddened by it. And I also say this, what it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that. I've had so many women and young girls reach out to me, and men too, by the way, men too, that say, wow, I never thought I could do that, but I see you doing it at this stage of my life. Who would have thunk it? Not me. This is what bothers me.
Okay, so she's like, this whole thing was an effort to, here's my comment. I was like, wait, so the goal was to pollute space? And then all these people liked it, and some people were mad at me, and some people whatever. But so she's like, okay, yeah, our goal was to like make Earth great again. Okay, got it. We're gonna make Earth great again. But then we're gonna make Earth great again by, she said, dumping our waste into space. I'm like, wait, what? That was the goal. That's the reason we did this, was to show people that we sent Katy Perry to space to show people we can send trash to space. Why didn't we put a Kardashian on that ship? I like the Kardashians. That was just a cheap joke. But anyway, what? Literally, what? And then some people are like, do you not realize how big space is? There's so much space in space. Like, we could just throw our trash there and it's like not a big deal. I'm like, no, the whole point is like, maybe we should like reduce waste, not dump the waste somewhere else. Like, what? We spent all that money to be like, oh yeah, this is a new trash chute. We're just going to shoot it up into the space. And so now the solar system is just going to have all our dirty tampons flying everywhere. Like, what? Literally, what? What in the Wally is going on here? You know? That was done. I was like, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Uh, Elena says, "What could go wrong, right? What could possibly go wrong with throwing all our shit up in space?" Like, literally, I don't understand. I thought, like, listen, if this were, and also because I was having this conversation with the other creators at Universal Studios yesterday, that they're my thing. I'm from the era of when, you would send people to space and the spaceship wouldn't make it back, right? You would send them out there and it would blow up, right? That's what I remember of when we sent people to space as a child. As a young child, I remember that playing out on the news and it was like, oh my God. And I went to Catholic schools. Then we had to pray for the people and pray for their souls that were lost up in space. And so space was just like, it's a little dicey, right? And then just a couple years ago, we had the submersible. Remember the one that blew up underwater? Because rich people were just like, we just want to do rich things and we're going to spend a lot of money to do things we probably shouldn't be doing, to be going places we probably don't really need to be going, right? Because we're not astronauts. So whatever. We're not astronauts or sea dragons. So what are we in? What are you, an urchin now? You want to go in the deep blue sea? No, thank you. I'm good. I don't need to go into the deep blue sea. That's too deep and it's not blue enough for me. It's a little too dark. Okay. And then going to space on an 11-minute trip. I've had better 11 minutes that I would rather repurpose than go to space. It sounds cool, right? I get it. But I thought, like, I was very confused as to what the intention of going to space was, because Katy Perry keeps saying that, oh, this is about empowering girls. It's empower women. Let's show young girls that, what, if you end up banging Jeff Bezos, you can go to space? Is that what we're trying to teach little girls now? To bang a rich dude that can afford a spaceship? Like, I don't understand what we're inspiring little girls with. Like, what was the point of this? And then it made me pull into question whether or not we even went to the moon, because I was like, wait, That was what, 50 years ago that we went to the moon? We haven't been back to the moon, and we couldn't send Katy Perry to the moon? We sent her into space, and it was, like, a little too risky, so she was only in space for, like, 4 minutes? I don't know if I again, I have questions. PR says, how did they make Earth great?" Great question. I don't know, but that's Gail's spin. Katy Perry's like, "We're doing it for the girls," and Gail's like, "We're doing it to make Earth great again and get rid of all the waste." Some people just need to stop talking. Yeah. KS said the goal is to pollute space, right? Victoria says that was my first thought. They're polluting space. Yeah. Yeah, they are a waste of space. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's read some of the comments though. Okay, because people did not like my comment about Gail King making space great again. And so a lot of people have been responding to it. Look at Michael says, I don't think you realize how big space is. Oh, and then I responded, I said, oh, space is big. I didn't know. Like, come on. You don't think I know space is big, but my whole point is it's like, why do we just want all of our trash and our shit floating up in space? Like that just like that gives the aliens, like if I were aliens and I was like, look at these fucking people down on Earth and they want to pollute our solar system. Nah, we should take their planet out now. Like the aliens are gonna get upset with us and they're gonna pew 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 us out of the world. Or well, I guess we're in the world. They're gonna pew 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 us out into outer space. And we're really gonna be done. And we're not gonna be taken out by a meteor. We're gonna be taken out by aliens because they're gonna be pissed. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like we're sharing this solar system, and you think you're so cool enough to just like throw your shit up into the space? No, thank you. We're gonna fuck something up. Like we just need to stop. You know, like at some point we just need to like again, if there was some sort of like science advancement about going to space, cool, right? But like we're just doing it because it's fun. Like we can just take an adventure and spend exorbitant amount of money. Like the American way of thinking. I mean, here, reduce our trash, right? Dumping our garbage into space, terrible. This was the dumbest news story of 2025. Dumber than Blake Lively being named Time's top 100 most influential people. I don't know what they think she's influencing. Laura Lee, Loyalty T says, did they conduct some sort of research? No. What was the point? That's the thing. Like, if there was a research piece to this, then I would understand. Yeah, that's empowering for girls to show that you can become scientists and you can do all these things, right? That's empowering. That's uplifting. That's showing. That's a little more female empowerment, you know? Is like show the scientist, the first female scientist. I mean, maybe they're not as interesting as Katy Perry, but like, or they're just not well known. But I don't understand what Katy Perry solved in any of this. Donna was early today, so what are the chances I found Zack on right now? Yay! I didn't know Donna was on early today. Bezos was just promoting his amusement park ride that only the uber rich can afford. Here's the thing, yes, but also I would say, like, if they owned it as like, yeah, we're rich people doing rich people shit, and what? Like, if they just like did the whole Gwyneth Paltrow thing, and they're like, yeah, I got a jade egg inside me, and it's more expensive than your car. I would be like, you know what? Fuck it. At least you're owning it, right? At least you're honest. At least you're being like, yeah, I have money. I want to go to space. I can go to space. That's why not a lot of people, when the submersible blew up, a lot of people were like, whoa, that was probably not the best choice. But they had money and they wanted to spend their money and they took the gamble. They took the risk, right? Love to their family. May they rest in peace. But like, this was not that. They should have just owned it as rich people doing rich people shit, you know? And that's fine. Do your shit, right? Talk your shit, ride that dick. Ask for a car where you ride that dick, right? But this was not that. They tried to sell it to us as like some sort of novel advancement to the planet. When if anything, all I got from it is we're just trying to fuck up the solar system. Teresa says, then the Transformers will be met. Yeah. KS says tampons. A way to put it in perspective, Zach. We know how much men hate tampons. Maybe they will think twice about Menace's collections articles floating out there. Yeah. Katy Perry was barely in space. That's what I mean. Like she did just the tip. They went to space and then they came right back. And like cool, they were there. It was an 11-minute space mission. Cool, but like at the same time, what did it really? That's what I mean. That's why now I'm like having doubts. I did not doubt that we ever went to the moon before, but now I have doubts because I'm like, wait, if we were able to go to the moon safely and return safely and film it 50 years ago, then why is it so groundbreaking that we sent Katy Perry to space for 4 minutes? Now I have and she went barely into space, like, she barely went to space, and then we had the people that were stuck in space for all the months, remember? The 2 crazy couples? Do we think they had sex? I think they had to have, like, no. Do I mean, I feel like they weren't even sure they were ever gonna come back. Her next album is going to be so annoying. Well, her last few albums have already been pretty intergalactic, right? "You're so hypnotizing, throw me like an angel, na 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 na. Your touch magnetizing, feels like I am glowing, move my body glowing. They say, be afraid, you're not like the other, futuristic lover, different DNA, they don't understand you. You're from the whole nother world, a different dimension." Do you think Bezos' girlfriend got paid? I don't think she got paid. Zach, you cracked me up. I'm laughing out loud. What was it? The tampons in space? Was that what cracked you up? Shari Sharimar says, with a super chat, says, why didn't they make a big deal out of the rescue of the astronauts in space? Well, I think because that was beneficial to Elon Musk, right? He was getting a little credit for that, and they weren't going to give him that. How dare we do anything that gives Elon Musk any credit? Woden Cafe says, for real, there was more nonsense made of this Blue Origin flight than the rescue of the astronauts. I agree. I agree. We should have acknowledged the astronauts a lot more. They literally like got lost in space. White Lotus season 4 in space. Could you imagine? Jennifer Coolidge. She's in space and she's like, I just want a hot dog real bad. She has the music right. Yeah, she already has the music down. Beatrice says the only thing this woman accomplished was making fools out of themselves. I don't think they made well, they're kind of making fools out of themselves now. KS says, I don't want to take Katy Perry seriously. She needs to just stop trying to convince people that she's cerebral. I like Katy Perry. I like her music. I just, again, was very confused by this entire space mission and why anybody thought that this was like, because like even Gayle King, like what did they're like, she's a journalist. She's the first journalist to go to space. But like, what did that really do? Like, what does she come back and do with that knowledge? Tell us that like, yeah, space is a great place to dump our waste. Like, I don't know, like, before they started talking, I was like, "Okay," like, I wasn't mad about this, right? I know other people were, like, mad and outraged and like, "Oh, this is just rich people doing rich people shit." I wasn't even that mad at it. And now I'm, like, kinda mad. Now I'm like, "Gail, I was, like, giving you the benefit of the doubt, and now you're just like, yeah, let's make Earth great again, and let's just dump all our tampons into space.'" Thank you, next. Thank you, next. Oh, Texas Painter Girl says, are they trying to make an airplane type of a spaceship to let regular people take trips into space? Remember Ashton Kutcher talking about that years ago. But like, what are we gonna do? Just go to space just to like see space? I can see space on my computer, right? I don't know. It's a little scary to be in a spaceship and to be shooting up in like I don't know if I can handle all that. Like that's a lot for me, you know? That's a lot. Okay, let's talk about Blake Lively because there's a lot to talk about here. Because she's finally reacting. She's responding to all of the heat that she's gotten from this Time cover. So she first posted an Instagram feed post in response to being named one of Time's top 100 most influential people of 2025. And remember, in the article, they reference that the reason that they've named her, actually, I think I have that right here. The reason that they decided to name her one of the top 100 people of 2025 is because she made a donation. Her and Ryan Reynolds made a contribution to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund back in 2019, which a lot of people are like, oh, that's because of the plantation wedding. They had to distract from the plantation wedding. So instead of doing the plantation wedding, they wanted to make sure they donated to the NAACP, right? But I love how they're referencing the NAACP donation from 2019 and letting that be as a justification as to why she deserves this honor in 2025, 6 years later, right? Well, here's her response. One of her responses. Which, by the way, note, because I was saying like, "Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow isn't a supporter of Blake Lively," and then I realized Gwyneth Paltrow follows Blake Lively and liked this post, and I was like, "Gwyneth, now I'm a little disappointed in you," you know? But anyway, so Blake Lively writes, "It's an honor to be acknowledged on the Time 100 list for 2025, to be written about by the great Sherilyn Eiffel is not something that I take lightly." And then she goes on to talk about Cheryl. Um, yeah, and then she says that Cheryl has helped shape her heart and also her stamina to never stop believing in a future that's better and safer for everyone. Thank you to Time and thank you to Cheryl for one of the most surreal and meaningful moments of my life in this honor. My 10-year-old self is pretty blown away right now. Great. And then she continued, because that wasn't enough. So she went and posted on her Instagram stories. And here she writes, she shares it on her Instagram stories and says, "I'm able to see this moment almost looking back from the future or looking ahead from childhood. And from every time period, I can see how profound this is to me. Not just to be included, but to have a voice. It's a fortunate thing when it should be given to have a voice. So thank you to Time and to each of you who uplift the many who live boldly, even when it's scary." Surprised she didn't use the word yummy here. I mean, and then this still wasn't enough. So she continued her statement with yet another Instagram story. She thanks Sherilyn again for your words. "Since the day I met you, you've shown me grace, kindness, curiosity, wisdom, strength, knowledge, and the power of female fire to illuminate in times of darkness. You constantly illustrate how connected we all are and how we can and how and can be when or how connected we can be when division feels like the only ending. Thank you for your light, your fire, and your work and your words." Okay. Listen, do I think she's deserving of the most influential? I mean, I think that maybe collectively she and Justin Baldoni should have shared a spot on the top 25, not because they're like we like one better than the other or vice versa, but because like they're both equally influential because we're both talking about them in the same way, right? I think she's negatively influential this year, and I think he's positively influential, but unfortunately, they go together, right? And I know people are gonna be like, "No, she doesn't deserve that. He deserves that." But no, I think if anything, if you're gonna give one of them this, you have to give it to both of them because they're both equally, part of this. And they called her one of the Titans. It's like, really, we're gonna call her a Titan? Okay. We are the Titans. No time for no teeth, because we are the Titans. How much does she pay for this? I don't know. Listen, it looks like somebody probably paid for this. This is definitely a PR stunt if I've ever seen one. But the fact that she's just like, I could have never imagined this as a child, and it's such an honor, and thank you for giving me a voice. And then she used the Judy Garland song, "Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly." Felicia says, "What I don't understand is that the Time magazine piece was not even a mid-year piece. This was, in my opinion, a Blake plan." Yeah, that's the thing too, is like the timing of this, because we're just now getting into April. So, like, what if someone really influential comes like over the summer? And I also don't know, like, what positive influence, and to be fair, the list isn't about making positive influence, right? 'Cause also named on the list are like Donald Trump and JD Vance, who I know are very polarizing figures in our culture right now. And so some people, would argue that they think Trump is great for our country, and some people would argue that they think he's the worst thing for our country. So the fact that he's on the list, I understand. Polarizing, so it doesn't necessarily mean you need to make a positive impact, but this is where I also add that, like, what positive influence has Blake Lively brought upon us in the year 2025 if she's been named one of the top 100 most influential people, right? And if you're going to give that to Blake Lively, then you equally have to give that to Justin Baldoni. And they should have shared this spot on the Time Top 100 because it is the biggest news story in Hollywood right now. And they're both part of the conversation. Russ says Donald Trump and JD Vance at least make more sense, regardless of what you think about them. Well, yeah, and the president, I believe, is always making like Times Person of the Year and the influentialist, and like it makes sense, right? When you are the leader of the free country, then yeah, I think you do deserve a spot on that list, regardless of what your political party affiliation is. If you're a Republican or a Democrat, you should deserve a spot on that list because you are supposed to be one of the most influential people in our country. That makes sense. Blake Lively, not so much. Yeah, Danielle said, yeah, Trump, he's influential, good or bad. Yeah. Ali B says, I definitely think Justin should have been on the list for his work in bringing DV into the spotlight with his movie. Exactly. That's an even better suggestion, Ali B. He's made more of a rise in awareness for DV than Blake Lively has, especially with the film. So it's like if you're gonna give this to someone, yeah, and if you're gonna do it for a positive influence, then yeah, I think Baldoni definitely deserved it more. Creepy says, I vote Ryan Reynolds for the most influential woman. Khaleesi Dyer says, kudos to Blake for shining a light on shady Hollywood. Danny says, just check the Time 100 for 2024. It was released on October 2nd, 2024. Okay, well, that's strange. That's even more strange. Blake and Ryan like to utilize the SEO to drown out negativity. They're trying to distract people, but they also like to use these things as marketing plays, which makes me question why. What's about to drop? What's coming? Like, are they about maybe they predicted that their motions to dismiss would be dismissed around this point. So they kind of like agreed to do this Time magazine thing. Because again, these are all publicity stunts. I don't know. To me, this is clearly meant to be a distraction for something, but I'm not sure what. What are we trying to distract from? What is it that's about to come out that they don't want us looking at? Because she's doing the Time magazine, and then she's also doing Another Simple Favor. She's promoting that right now with Anna Kendrick. Something about this seems fishy. Also, did you notice Michelle Maroney was not at the premiere, the London premiere for Another Simple Favor? Was he in the basement? Did he do something? Did he harass Blake too? Where is he? Where did he go? Why isn't he here? I have questions. Monica Smart, thank you for the super chat or the super sticker. What is the whole purpose of the Time 100? It's just to highlight the people that they believe are making the most influence, positive or negative, but just influence in general within our culture. I think she's negatively making an impact in our culture, Blake Lively. I don't know. Sedge says, I saw a few people in the other podcast that are a complete joke that are also part of the joke administration. Like I said, Time lost its merit long ago. Well, but they've always done this, right? The president has always, from in the history of Time magazine, regardless of the political party, the president has always been named Person of the Year in an election year. Like that, just if you pull up all the covers and all the history of that, that's just something that has always been a thing. So it's not an endorsement, but it's just, Sarah says, yeah, with the article making her sound like such a wonderful person, that's not the reason people are talking about her. At least, yeah, nobody's talking about her or praising her for anything. Like, what important work has Blake done in the past year? This just tells me right now that the press is going to continue. I don't understand why they're protected or like why they feel. Here's the thing: if when trial comes next year, if she's found guilty in a court of law by a jury, what is the press going to do then? Is Time Magazine going to name her the most influential person of 2026 and praise her for her 2019 NAACP donation? Like that's what I want to know. And also, why wasn't Katy Perry or Gail put on the top 100? They just went to space. Seems pretty influential to me. Gail King's out there dumping all our trash into space. Seems pretty influential. I don't know. Doesn't add up to me. Gwen says, yeah, she's a titan for opening us all up to how much Hollywood thinks they have power. Well, they didn't just think it, they did have power. Lala says it's to distract us from this fake subpoena. Well, Stephanie Jones is trying to get ahead with that fake subpoena thing, and it just continues to look bad for her. Elizabeth says, I just can't. This is too much. Blake Lively being in Time Magazine, paid for, top much. Just can't, Zach. I can't either. I think it's terrible. Alicia or Alice in Silverland says, I bet everyone has casted as one of the Deadpool. He thinks of himself as too much and he feels enslaved to a bunch of people. If you think about his part in Free Guy, I think he feels very isolated. Ryan Reynolds? You think he feels isolated? Um Monica sends a super chat and says Blake is infamous, not influential. Well, you can be infamous and influential. I just don't think she's influential, not in a positive way at least. But again, you don't have to positively influence people in order to make this list. Sedge says, I mentioned that already, Zach. He was already on the cover last fall or winter, or maybe when it was in January. But yes, he was on the cover. Yes. Yeah. Oh, she was influential with her booze and hair care products. Yeah, Judy, you're not lying. CJ says, why is she being praised for something in 2019 when she's still putting African American men in her ads and their hands on their knees? Yeah, I've seen that. Ella says, so somehow Time Magazine. I think I have more of an issue, CJ, with Blake and Jenny Slate's issues that they've taken with Jamie Heath, because Jamie Heath happens to be a black man. And I think that the way they've miscategorized things in relation to Jamie Heath or how he's made them uncomfortable, that doesn't get lost on me, right? So, yeah. Creeby says influential psychos, Blake and Ryan. Is that the next one? Shit doesn't fit the narrative. I know it doesn't fit the narrative. You're right. Scrubbing Sud says people are talking about the reason she made that donation. CIA guy didn't think this one through. Well, people are saying that she made the donation because of the plantation wedding that people were talking about. Hillary says, why is Demi Moore on here too? Look up the video of her kissing a child. Demi Moore, I believe, is on there because she's had like a breakout year in film. You know, she's won all the awards. Her film did really well. It's winning awards. And so she's being talked about a lot. Jeanette says their claims around Jamie Heath feel problematic and based on bias, potentially unconscious, but still. I mean, listen, that's kind of the conversation that not a lot of people want to have, but like, I don't know, why don't we have that conversation? Alice says it's just a random theory, like he is a sociopath. Jordan says she donated because of the plantation wedding. Nick Shapiro thinks the public is dumb. Well, the wedding happened in 2012. They got married in 2012. Jason Fitz says she didn't like him looking into her eyes. Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't like him looking into your eyes. Why? Is it because he's black? Like, you know, makes you question things. Like, Jay says, oh my God, Zach, you're making me laugh like crazy. Totally put me in a better mood. Yay. I'm so tired after yesterday. It was such a long day. It was so fun, but it was such a long day. Creepy says Blake's team trying to gaslight the public now. No one believes them. Nope. Not one bit. Not one bit. Vivian says she's really influential. She almost stole a movie. She made the donut shop get many bad reviews and had her friends turn on her after so much bad press. Yeah. And all the pieces fall right into place. Jordan says they got married in 2012, but didn't they catch heat for it in 2019, 2020? Let's see. Blake Lively plantation. Oh, that's right in the top. Oh, they apologized for it in 2020. Let's see. Let's look this up. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively apologized for their plantation wedding. Here, we can pull this up. We'll read this article together. We'll take a trip down memory lane. Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds said that he and his wife, actress Blake Lively, are deeply and unreservedly sorry for holding their 2012 wedding ceremony at a South Carolina plantation. It's impossible to reconcile, Reynolds told Fast Company in a profile published Tuesday. What we saw at the time was a wedding venue on Pinterest. What we saw after was a place built upon this devastating tragedy. Okay. Reynolds and Lively got married at the Boone Hall. Oh, like Benson Boone at the Boone Hall plantation in Mount Pleasant, which features 9 slave cabins referred to as Slave Street. What? I'm just gonna be honest. I did not. I heard of this, but I haven't really dug into this story. Wow. And this is 2020, mind you. This was when shit was really going down. The move was criticized at the time, but came under new was criticized at the time, but came under renewed scrutiny in 2018 after Reynolds tweeted in support of Black Panther, the first superhero movie to feature majority black cast, and was accused of hypocrisy. Okay. The wedding industry has been responding to plantation wedding roles in glamorized sites of violence against Black people. Last year, Pinterest and The Knot banned pictures of all plantation weddings on its platforms, including Reynolds and Lively's. Who thought this was a good idea? Not for but like for Blake and Ryan. Like it literally says Slave Street, and they had 9 slave cabins. That's crazy. Is that where they had the bridal party? Did each of the members of the bridal party get their own slave cabin? So chic. Eh. Like, what the fuck is this? Reynolds and Lively appeared to express regret over their plantation wedding earlier this year, but this is the first time they've explicitly apologized for it. Oh, here we go. We're ashamed that in the past we've allowed ourselves to be uninformed about how deeply rooted systematic racism is. The couple wrote on Instagram announcing their $200,000 donation to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund in May, following the death of George Floyd at the hands of the Minneapolis Police Department. We want to educate ourselves about other people's experiences and talk to our kids about everything, all of it, especially our complicity. Our complicity. Reynolds also revealed in the Fast Company interview that he and Lively, parents to 3 daughters, later exchanged vows in a separate ceremony. Oh, so they got married off of a plantation. Years ago, we got married again at home, but shame works in weird ways. A giant fucking mistake like that can either cause you to shut down or it can reframe things and move you into action. It doesn't mean you won't fuck up again, but repatterning and challenging lifelong social conditions is a job that doesn't end. Reynolds recently announced that he's launching the Group Effort Initiative, a program focused on providing training to Black people and people from the other underrepresented groups to support them as they pursue careers in the film industry. Wow, if that doesn't scream white guilt to me, what happened to that? Where did that go? Is that still around? I'm still around. What is it called? He's trying to help Ryan Reynolds' mission to help all the Black people. Yeah, his diversity program, his diversity training program. Okay. Is this still around? Oh, it is. Oh, wow. Guys, Ryan Reynolds is out here to save all the Black people. Wait, there's more. Okay, let's look at this one. Wow. Wow, it's still going. Okay, Ryan Reynolds' mission is to create a pipeline for members of underrepresented communities to get real experience towards lasting careers within the entertainment industry. What does that mean? Oh, what do they offer? Paid partnerships, connecting participants to meaningful paid internships. Oh, paid internships, sorry. Entry level job opportunities, securing entry level job opportunities for participants that match their career interests, on-set production assistant opportunities, mentorships. Wow, we're going to be mentored by Ryan Reynolds and what it means to be a person of color in Hollywood. And education. Ooh, what? We're going to educate Black people about their experiences? Snap. No, it's probably educating white people. The entertainment world is so daunting and GEI. What is like DEI, but GEI? Oh, everybody's so creative. GEI makes entering it much less of a challenge. With their help, I was able to make my first major steps into starting my career as an office production assistant. Okay, Xander Rodriguez. like the name Xander. GEI by the numbers. They have 942 paid internships, 421 entry-level full-time positions secured, 269 entertainment companies we partner with. Wow, look at that. And shit is real when they have a group photo of all of them together wearing face masks. When there's a group of people and they're wearing a mask, they mean business. They mean business. Let's not forget Blake Lively told Jamie Heath not to look. Yeah, we discussed that, WC. Wow. Wow. Groundbreaking. Our group effort, how we have evolved. In 2021, they merged with Los Angeles Mayor Garcetti's Evolve Entertainment Fund, a public-private partnership. To date, GI will with the Evolve merger has directly secured. It was with the help of the Garcetti merger. Here they're helping predominantly. 29% Black or African American and 24% Hispanic and Latino. 60% male, 5% non-binary. Wow, guys. Wow. There's Ryan Reynolds, front and center. What is this? April. Wow, the calendar looks strong. They had a virtual office hours on the 4th. Wow, look at this calendar. Look at all the good they're doing. They don't really do much. Ryan Reynolds marks the 3rd anniversary of DEI-focused group initiative with a call for more productions. Please come on board. Wow, he said, please come on board. And that was newsworthy. Snap. The calendar is empty, is it? Where's the ad from the Mint Mobile on the website? Yasmin sends in a super chat and says, Slave Street at the NC Plantation is at the front of the house. Blake and Ryan's wedding guests would have walked past the Slave Street to get into the venue. Did they hide the slave shacks? Blake Lively's brand preserves celebrated antebellum. Look it up. Blake Lively Plantation wedding. Let's look at these photos. Let's see if there's anything good in here. I'm sure there are plenty of juicy, of yummy photos here. Oh, do we not have any of their wedding photos? I don't think we have any of their wedding photos. Oh, but here's the plantation. Interesting. What happened to all their... Did they ever release their wedding photos? Or was that like private? They were like, no, we didn't sell these to People magazine. Blake and Ryan, wedding controversy renewed. Dun, dun, dun. I do kind of want to see. Oh, the wedding venue continues to be controversial. What we know now. When was this? This was from 2025. This was last month. Here it is. Is this Slave Street? Oh, this is Avenue of the Oaks. One of the preserved slave cabins standing at Boone Hall Plantation. Interesting. Here's their joint statement. Let's look at this. Oh, this is the joint statement. Oh, and she just tagged NAACP. Wow, that's real heartfelt. We never had to worry about preparing our kids for different rules of law or what might happen if we pulled over in a car. We don't know. Oh, sorry, guys, we can't imagine the feeling that the fear and anger. We're ashamed that in the past we've allowed ourselves to be uninformed about how deeply rooted systematic racism is. We've been teaching our children differently than the way our parents taught us. We want to educate ourselves about other people's experiences and talk to our kids about everything, all of it, especially our own complicity. We talk about our biases and blindness and our mistakes. We look back and see how many mistakes which have led us to deeply examine who we are and who we want to become. They've led us to huge avenues of education. Wow, this is a very long statement. Last week, we contributed $200,000 to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. We stand in awe of this organization and its leader. Oh, that's who she is? Sherilyn? So with this Time Top 100 list, we went and got the black lady we donated the $200,000 to at the NAACP. We're like, hold on, let's find one person that'll actually come out publicly and say something nice about Blake Lively. So let's go back to 2019, bring this lady up, and have her be part of this Time feature. Why didn't Taylor nominate her? All right, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of them. I've had enough of you, you beast. Beast. How dare you? All right. That's all I got for you guys. I can't anymore. How old were their children when they posted this? Weren't they like toddlers? Yeah, they were very young then because the kids are, yeah, they were babies. All right. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. I'll talk to you. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. Friday. Hey, Friday. Don't forget, guys, big announcement coming this Tuesday. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Oh, wait, what is this? Jason says, quote, I love Black people. My wife and I recently learned that they work just as hard and can be denigrated just as much as our white movie staff. Can't wait to give them those valuable opportunities. From Ryan Reynolds. Thank you, Jason, for the super chat. Amy said, Zack, I love me some Zack personality, attitude. Nearly 100,000. You're influential. I know. Do the Lady Gaga dance from Coachella. Abracadabra, abracadabra. Isn't that what she does? Like the this is Thriller. It's Lady Gaga doing Thriller. Guys, hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the show. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hit subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And definitely leave a nice Apple Podcast review if you've been enjoying the show. They absolutely help the show. It helps people know what about the show you're enjoying. It helps us rank on the charts. So continue to show love. Here are some reviews. I'll give some shout outs. This one comes from Wild and Funny. It says, Zack, move on from Blake. Please move on, and I will start listening again. Please, for the love of God. We talk about other things other than Blake Lively every day, guys. Blake Lively happens to be the lead sometimes because that's the biggest story at the moment, but we do talk about a variety of other things. If you listen to the show, you would know. And then Rakalita says, ignore the haters. Zack, you are my absolute fave. I look forward to new episodes every day. I really appreciate how you've given an unfiltered perspective to every situation. It's refreshing to listen to someone who doesn't sugarcoat or have to watch what they say to please the public. You're truly being yourself, and it's hard to find in people. I don't understand why people are such haters. I'm assuming it's just bots because anyone else will cover similar content and not be judged for it. Keep your head up and keep doing what you're doing. Hashtag ZackPack. Thank you, my love. Appreciate you. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of your Thursday. Get it.